we had a day of action yesterday, as everyone knows, with lots of people all over the country going out to talk about the cost of living crisis, and we also had strikes. But there is also an issue that hasn't really been discussed much, is that the number of people who are in trade unions, number of workplaces in trade unions is only 23% in the country. And last year, the number of employees in trade unions fell by 82,000. So the actual labour movement is not in a particularly healthy position, but there is a group that is aiming to change this. And I'm just going to play a little clip about what they're trying to do.
The working class is back. Workers across the country are organising the fight back against the cost of living crisis, exploitative working conditions and attacks on our standards of living. But many workers need help, encouragement and support to organise in their workplaces. That is why, during this period of renewed militancy, we want to launch Organise Now, a peer-to-peer organising support project which helps connect workers with more experienced reps, stewards and organisers. Here's how it works. Step 1, go to organisenow.org.uk. Step 2, complete our organising help form. Step 3, in 72 hours, receive a call from one of our volunteer organisers. And step 4, get organising at work. This is about giving workers the confidence and the resources to fight, and for organisers to learn from and be inspired by these new struggles. Use our website today to get help with your organising and to join our volunteer team. The fight back is on. Let's get organised.
Joining us is Sarah Wooley, the General Secretary of the Bakers Union, and also a pivotal member of Organise Now. Sarah, I believe it was you had a bit of a late night last night. How are you feeling today?
I'm not as delicate as I thought I was going to be, Crispin, which is good. But yes, it was my mum got married yesterday, so it was a bit of a heavy night last night. So I'm not as animated as I was in the video this morning.
Well, I appreciate you coming on at all in the circumstances. No, I was a bit alarmed that the 23% of workers are in a union. It's such a low number. And when you saw the story at the start about the TUC trying to take the government to court, and John was saying, that's not going to make any difference. I mean, how big an issue is it that if you haven't got a union, then you're in a really bad situation, aren't you, as a worker?
Certainly are. I mean, there's over 18 million working people that are in a trade union in the UK, which is a phenomenal amount of workers. And they're going to be the people that are most likely to need a trade union. They're the people that are working in Starbucks, the gig economy workers, McDonald's workers, things like that we know are being exploited on a daily basis, that we know are being paid really crap wages, precarious contracts. They'll be most likely on 0 hours contracts. They won't necessarily know what the workplace rights are, never mind their health and safety rights. And their employers certainly aren't going to just say, oh, you should have a break now. We'll make sure that you get your allocated break today, because most employers don't care, do they? So these people are definitely the ones that are most likely to need the support, because they're more likely to have an accident at work, they're more likely to be exploited, and they're probably going to bloody struggle a lot more than unionised workplaces towards the end of this year.
And I mean, the popularity of Mick Lynch, the RMT, also the postal workers with their dispute, it kind of shows that trade unions are popular out there. So do you think this is the right time to try to get people to sign up to join unions and to set up their own workplaces?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I've said this to a few pickets over the last few months. Those workers from, the RMT members, the CWU members, the ASLEF, TSSA members, everybody that's going out and taking a stand at the minute are inspiring millions of others and saying, look, if we can come out and we can stand together and we can say we're demanding better, then so can you. But they need a vehicle to be able to do that, and generally, I'm not having a go at trade unions, but you'll get a person that will send in a membership form, and then they might not hear anything back other than receive the membership card. That's not going to help them organise in their workplace, is it? So this project is about saying, look, There's a tool here. If you're seeing all that stuff on the news and you're thinking, I want a bit of that, my workplace is crap and we want to make things better, get on the website, fill out a form. You'll get a response back within 72 hours. We'll ask you a few questions and then we'll get you on with a more experienced rep or organiser who will almost give you permission to organise in your workplace, because I think that's what it is. It's not that we're doing it for them. It's not that we're kind of giving them all the answers to every issue that they've got, but it's almost like, that idea sounds fantastic. How can we support you organising your workplaces? And it might mean that we get thousands more people in trade unions. It might mean some of them just organise collectively and don't join a trade union. But it's about the organising and the solidarity and the collective action around issues that if they're facing in their workplace, the colleagues are going to be facing. And it's about removing that kind of individualism that we've all got into over the last 20, 30 years. Not us on this Zoom meeting, obviously, but the general public, and kind of getting them to think more about the collective and the power that coming together gives. Because I know it was just mentioned, but the Tories aren't interested in them. Labour getting into government, if they ever do, aren't going to change things for them. Not what the changes that we need. The only way that we're going to make a difference is by workers coming together, communities coming together and demanding it ourselves. So that's what Organise Now is. It's a, well, as you saw in the video, you know, and I cringed when I watched that. I don't like watching myself.
Well, I don't like watching myself. That's why I put a hat on. You should put a hat on and a jacket, and then you don't see yourself. What I did notice as well, you've got already got 100 volunteers, so it's getting a lot of support from people who want to help out, and people. So these people can all help when people phone up.
Yeah, do you know what? It's really exciting. We only had the proper launch on the 24th at the World Transformed, but we've kind of been doing some sessions, and you don't want to have a launch and nobody sign up, do you? So we've kind of been testing the waters for a few months, and people are really engaging with it. And I think there's two angles to it. So there's the opportunity for workers to get some support and direction with organising, but there's also the opportunity for reps already in the movement to develop their own skills, you know, and move outside. And we think that's important as well, because if you're a workplace rep in a workplace, you typically only deal with the issues in your workplace. You know, you might go to a demo or protest, but when you're supporting workers, your workers in your workplace, it's a big jump then to become like a full-time official and other things, and have to look outside of your workplace and deal with things that you've not experienced. But them volunteering their time and their support to other workers builds that solidarity element, but it also gives them some more knowledge and understanding and experiences of different workplace issues, which can only be better. You know, it can only be a good thing for them as reps.
Yeah, well, it's like a culture change, because the Thatcher government tried to undermine the unions and demoralise solidarity between people, wasn't they? That was their whole thing. So it's great that there's this kind of attempt to change that culture from the bottom, and it's fantastic. Considering we had a big day of action yesterday, this is another bit of good news. We've got a lot of bad news, but this is for this show. This is by the way, this is the good news story for everyone. So I hope you're all smiling and happy and upbeat. And Sarah's come on, having been at her mum's wedding last night. Thank you very much for coming on, Sarah. Good to see you.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Cheers.